Hi guys, welcome to the next module, and this module is called the cell cycle. Well, what we've done at the moment is up to now we've learned what is inside a cell and how it literally functions and the tissues and the organs. Now we're doing the cell cycle, literally how it makes another of itself. And by the end of this lesson, you'll understand the cell cycle and how DNA replicates. Okay, let's look at the cell cycle. Right, the cell has a cycle goes round. Interphase, DNA replication, mitosis, and cytokinesis. Those are the 4 steps in a cell cycle. But it's like a chicken or an egg. Where does it start? Let's say we start here. It has just been born. This new cell has just been born, if we want to call it that. First bit is interphase, where it does its cell stuff. It does what it is actually defined for. Like an insulin will be produced by your pancreatic cell, and that's what the pancreatic cell will do most of the time it is active. Then towards the end, it'll start replicating the DNA. You can think of it as a restaurant. And you have this wonderful little franchise that works like a bomb. And the DNA is the recipe book inside this franchise kitchen, or actually in the office. The nucleus would be the office. But inside the franchise, you'll still have your counters and your tills, and you'll have at the back, you'll have your fridges, and all of that is part of running this successful restaurant. Okay, so most of the time, you've set up this restaurant, and what do you do most of the time? You make your cupcakes and you sell them, and you have your tables and your chairs, and everything works. But it's getting so big that you actually now need to make a second one. The first thing you do is you replicate the recipe book, the genetic information of this cell and the genetic information of this particular restaurant. Then you will go through certain steps. What are the steps in replicating the book? You have to literally open the book. You have to write it down. Make sure that every recipe is copied properly. Put it all nicely together in order to get it to the next venue. But then you do cytokinesis, and that is where you get yourself an extra fridge and some more people to work in your restaurant. And then once you've done that, your old restaurant still works and the new one carries on, and interphase again. So interphase is where cell does cell stuff. And please don't write down where it does cell stuff. You will be writing it is where it is actively busy doing the products or producing the products that the cell needs to produce. So a cell cycle is an ordered sequence of events that extends from the time the cell is just first formed, like being born, until it divides and then turns into 2 cells. When the cell is preparing for this division, it grows larger. Why? Because it's now making all the extra bits. It's getting all the people together. Think again of your restaurant. You get all your new recruits in that are going to be working, and you train them before you let them loose. So it gets larger by getting all the equipment necessary for the second cell, and the DNA replicates. The organelles double, all your bits and pieces, your fridges and your stoves, and the DNA replicates. You are replicating the genetic book. Right, interphase. The 2 main phases is the duplication of the contents. And as I said, interphase, most of interphase, you will just be doing the normal cell stuff. Insulin will make insulin. The liver cell will be cleaning out whatever it has to do. The kidney will be putting through all the blood and reabsorbing water and getting rid of the urea. That's what will be happening towards the end of its life, because every cell can live a certain amount of days, like red blood cells, usually about 40 days, although they are made in the bone marrow. But usually cells have a certain amount of days they can live, a certain lifetime, depending on how active they are. All right. And at the end, they make a new one. And then mitosis is the cell division. Now, let me tell you another little thing that you can think about. Think about a photocopy machine and think of the cell as being part of this photocopy machine, and you are the photocopy machine. When you are born, you get one copy of what you need in life, the original copy. You never get another original copy, never ever. That is what you have. And you need to make copies of that copy. And depending on how well you eat, the copy will be nice. And what I mean here is photocopy machine. If you put in cheap ink or ink that is slightly watered down, your 3 might turn into your 8 might turn into a 3. The 5 will lose a bit and it might look like a 2. Now you're copying that copy because you take the original copy, you put it in the photocopy machine, and you make another copy, and you make a copy. And that's what you do through life. You make a copy of a copy. The only template is made at fertilization. And in order to make this copy as valuable as possible or as truthful as possible, you need to make sure that the ink, which is oxygen, exercise, food, everything you put into this copy machine is at optimal level to make sure that the 8 stays in an 8. Because at the end of our chromosomes, we have little telomeres which break off. And the longer you can keep your telomere going, the longer your photocopy machine will make copies of itself and not random copies. If you get random copies, you will get what we eventually will discuss as cancer, because it's copying, but it doesn't have a full stop at the end of the sentence. So it carries on. And the full stop will say enough already. But take the full stop away and makes another one, which can turn into cancer. So that is why the cell cycle is important, and why this whole copying of the copying is important, and why I stopped and said you, the photocopying machine, that you need to feed ink. Think about that. Right. Now, what happens in interphase again? It grows. Increases in cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, remember from what we did in the cell? It's all the stuff that's in the cell. It's the cytoplasm with its organelles, and it duplicates its chromosomes. Right, so this is interphase. It's done its cell stuff. Next phase is mitosis. But we will go to mitosis in our next lesson. Let's just look at what happens at the end of your interphase, because we're doing cell cycles, so it's got its steps. So what we have here are centrioles. These centrioles are microtubules. Now, microtubules are tiny. Tubules are like tubes. Think of them as straws. And you have 2 little ones, and they are somewhere near the nucleus, and they usually sit around waiting for the cell division. And they are inside, this is your cytoplasm. Okay, and here you have your DNA, your nucleus, your nuclear membrane. There's your nuclear membrane. And we have our DNA, which looks like a bowl of spaghetti at this stage. The nucleolus is the most important, we can say it's the head of the municipality inside this and company here. Right. Chromatin consists of long DNA that duplicates. Okay, right. So now you have your recipe book. And in your body, your recipe book would be a DNA chromosome from your mother and one from your father, but exactly the same DNA number 1. And on your chromosome, DNA chromosome number 1, you would have instructions for hair and feet, for example. Now you have a copy from your mother and a copy from your father. And those 2 copies came together during fertilization, and that's it. Right. So now the instructions on these copies tell you to make insulin or to do urea or whatever cell you are. But now we want another copy because we want to make a new cell, or we want to make a new restaurant. So we have a copy of a cupcake and chicken soup, and we want to copy them. So we have to copy this thing. But the recipe book, in the case of a DNA, is a long string of instructions. And they are always like this whole string of, could be beads. And it's open because you need bead number 1, 2, 3, and 4. That part of the sentence gives you the instruction. And that is open, and it looks like a bowl of spaghetti, all of it open. And you double the DNA. And we're doing DNA replication, but it's a big part of grade 12. At the moment, all you need to know is that this DNA instruction that you have in your nucleus has to be copied identically. And how that is done is mitosis in the next lesson. But up to now, we need to know that before you can do all the necessary, you need to make a copy. So you're doing a copy of mother, you're doing a copy of father. So where you had one copy of mother, one copy of father, you will now have 2 copies of mother and 2 copies of father to get ready for the mitosis process. Okay, so it duplicates its DNA, but for every chromosome, every single chromosome. Right, let's look at a chromosome. You always hear it's DNA, genetic chromosomes. Chromosomes, you have 2 copies of sister chromatids. Now, terminology, guys. Please, terminology. It's incredibly important. A chromatid is identical copy of your father chromosome and your mother chromosome. So you have a father and a mother chromosome. Right. If you have 2 copies of dad, that would be identical chromatids. 2 copies of mom will be identical chromatids. So effectively, you've got 4 chromatids in one chromosome at the end of your doubling of your chromosomes. You have 2 of mom and 2 of dad. These 2 chromosomes will be called homologous chromosomes because they are both 1 and 1, chromosome 1. Chromosome 1 and chromosome 2 will not be homologous chromosomes. 2 sister chromatids would be identical copies of mom, identical copies of dad. So if you look at this, here you have 2 sister chromatids. This whole thing could be chromosome number 1. Okay, it is stuck together here with something called a centromere, a very important term that you need to know. Long arm, short arm, that's not really such an issue because you've got the chromosome, and depending on where the chromosome joins the 2 together. So you've made a copy of itself, and now you're joining them together so that they don't fall off. Where they join together could be, very rarely it's in the middle. It's somewhere up and somewhere down. But where they join together, they are joined together with a centromere. So you have a DNA molecule, and here's your DNA molecule inside. It's a long one that's been twisted up. And you have your sister chromatids. Sister chromatids are identical copies of one parent's chromosome. So you will have 2 sister chromatids from mom, as I said, 2 sister chromatids for dad. You put them together, and now you have 1 chromosome. And that's the little X you see, okay? This looks like an X, but you will have, if this one is now blue, you can have one here. That would be, say, mom, and this would be dad. And they will all be copies of chromosome number 1. And they are tied together with a centromere. All right. So you've got 2 moms and 2 dads with a centromere. Now you've got 4 of chromosome number 1. Okay. Here we have. That's mom. Let's make dad blue. Okay. And mom is red. Now that is what you will have every day normally in your cell. Now at the end, when it's now getting itself ready to duplicate, this is what you end up with. This is still chromosome number 1, but you have sister chromatids of dad and sister chromatids of mom. So now you have 4 chromatids. Okay, and then they all sit together. So now you have them all aligned together. Here, these are called kinetochores, and you'll get to why that's important when we do our mitosis. These are called homologous chromosomes. Why? Because they are both number 1 chromosome. Homologous chromosomes are mom 1 and dad 1 are homologous chromosomes. Centromere is where your 2 sister chromatids of dad and 2 of mom are joined up together. A sister kinetochores on the outside, so you've got mom and dad, and on the outside of them, they have kinetochores, which we'll see is important. Now, this is a synaptic complex, or we can call it the synaptonemal complex, which is part of meiosis later on, so it's not really that important now. And we've got our sister chromatids. Right, so if you want to understand mitosis, please make sure you stop at this slide, go over it, draw yourself a picture. Literally stop the slide, draw yourself a big picture and label it before we go on to the next section. Because if you label it and you can identify the different terms on one chromosome like this, the rest will be much easier. Okay, thank you for this lesson. Thank you for listening. Get yourself ready. We're going into the real deal, which is mitosis next time. Thank you.